When I come to venues like Southfield and I'm skimmer and bream fishing, I really have to think about my mix, and to be fair, I haven't really strayed too far from 2 or 3 ingredients for the last few years, and they've brought me a lot of success. So the first ingredient that is absolutely paramount in my mix is F1 Dark. Now, F1 Dark is one of the best skimmer ground baits I've ever come across. It's nice and dark, which I think is very important on a lot of venues. It's really sweet, and it's based around crushed black expanders, which I think are one of the best bream attractor there is. They're not particularly strong in fish meal. In fact, this is a very weak fish meal mix, which I also think is important. I don't want to overdo it. That's why the base of my mix is like that. I try to liken it, like when I'm on a natural venue, to brown crumb. Brown crumb is the base of my style of fishing, but whenever fish meal is involved, I use F1 Dark as the base. So this will form the base of my mix. So I'm going to put probably 2/3 of the mix is going to be this. I'm not going to mix loads today, but I like to go with about 2/3. So just going to sprinkle that in. Nice. Now, Thatcher's is a bait that I've been using with a lot of success, and it's got a really strong fish meal content in it. And I absolutely love it. It's been a brilliant ground bait. But a little secret of mine that I've been doing for a long time is I've been using Maggot fish meal. Now, Maggot fish meal is a lot weaker than Thatcher's, but it's very similar in its sort of makeup in terms of the ingredients. It just hasn't got that added fish meal strength. So it's also got a lot of crushed maggots in it, which I always think when the water's a bit cooler, crushed maggots are something that are very attractive to fish, so it's something that I've enjoyed a lot of success with at Southfield. So I'm just going to open that. I'm going to use probably about 1/3 of that today, all right, but I'm going to go slightly less than 1/3 because I am still going to put my Thatcher's in. I absolutely love Thatcher's. It has got that fish meal, but you can see I'm effectively making it a lot weaker than I usually am. So a splash of Thatcher's just to give it that stronger fish meal kick, if you like. Now, if this was summertime, I'd be using a lot more Thatcher's, okay? I'd be putting that Thatcher's in really heavy, and I think that's very important because it's very strong, okay? But when the water's cooler, so springtime and in October like this, I always like to start weakening my mix down. It's just something that I've liked to do. Now, today we're going to be fishing using worms, all right? Worms are going to be a very important part of our day, and because worms carry a lot of juice, we can't afford to over wet the ground bait when we mix it up in the original state. So I'm literally going to take my drill and I'm just going to dampen it, so it's going to almost be like dust, like barely any water. So I'm just going to pour this bit of water in, give it a blitz, sorry for the drill. That's it. All right, that is it. I know now this is going to be really dry. Look, if I nip it in a ball, it just goes into a ball, but if I crush it with my hands, it just literally falls to pieces. That is how I mix my ground bait whenever I'm using lots of worms, because I know there's going to be a lot of juice in the worms, so I need a ground bait that's nice and dry. If I want to make this ground bait moist and obviously really wet and totally change the way it works, I can do that when I'm on my peg. I can't make it drier again. So I always mix it on the dry side when I'm using lots of worms. And that is my winning mix for today.
If you like this sort of thing, why not check out www.anglingacademy.co.uk.
There's loads of information, really long videos. The detail is absolutely immense. So if you love this, if you love these little clips, check out those longer videos because they could be just the thing to improve your fishing.